In the movie Starship Troopers, war isn't something humanity tries to avoid, it's something we anticipate, in large part due to global propaganda that's reached a level of effectiveness that's hard to even wrap your head around.
I'm doing my part too.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're talking ad campaigns aimed at kids designed to make using deadly weapons feel exciting in the same way Super Soaker ads during the 90s made us want to wage neighborhood wars against each other in the thick of summer. From childhood to age 18, people are conditioned to want to fight. By the time they're old enough, it's no longer a question of if they'll enlist, it's finally, I get to. Enlisting to fight these nightmare bugs is basically signing a contract that you're consenting to die in battle. As survival becomes more of a joke with every passing bloodbath, the propaganda ads exist for one purpose: to keep a steady stream of fresh meat flowing to the front lines. Do you think you'd survive longer than your peers? Do you think you have what it takes to keep all your limbs intact? Do you think you're smarter than the people who died before you? Smart enough to spot enemy weakness and exterminate each bug you're faced with? You do? Well, you're wrong, and I'm here to tell you why.
Rico! Pay attention.
In this video from Strange Thoughts, I'm going to explain what happens when you go from high school slacker to wannabe bug zapper in the movie Starship Troopers. In order to most effectively get my points across, guy or girl, you'll be placed into the arena football cleats of lead protagonist Johnny Rico. But before we get to the reasons why, hit that subscribe button, then turn your post notifications on, and do it now! Our bug enemies can smell who's subbed versus who isn't, and find those who aren't most delicious. Our analysis begins in homeroom on your final day of high school. Your teacher's reflecting back on the year's best lessons. You're not paying attention though. You're too busy animation doodling something for your mega hot ambitious partner.
Would you like to know more?
Mr. Rawcheck here's got one arm and even less patience for the woke fidget spinners who don't agree violence is the supreme authority from which all other forms of authority are derived. Mr. Rawcheck, sir? My mama, she says, violence never solves anything.
Yo, mama.
Inspiring youth to become war-hungry meat troopers doesn't start and stop with propaganda. Things are different now. Gone are the days you're born into citizenship. You gotta earn that responsibility now by enlisting. Would you like to know more? The perks of citizenship. Only citizens can vote, because why should someone who hasn't served their country have any say in how said country is run? Only citizens can hold office, because how on earth could someone too chicken to lead troopers to victory possess the qualities necessary to lead a city, state, or nation? And that's the trap and very first reason why. Those two rules protect the entire system from ever seriously changing. Democracy is dead, replaced by a military oligarchy. If the only people allowed to run for power and vote are those who've already bought into the system enough to serve it, the electorate is made up entirely of people who are conditioned to see it as honorable, necessary, and morally superior. This next citizen perk ties directly back to the mention that this whole thing doesn't start and stop with propaganda. Only citizens are allowed to teach history and philosophy-based courses in school. So just imagine how biased said course subjects are going to be. All we know is what we're taught. And how we're taught what we come to know can be a major player in what shapes us. In elementary school, we were taught division with remainders. We didn't question that's how division works because why would we purposely be taught something that isn't right? Then, in middle school, we learned remainders are, in fact, absolute bullshit. So when Rawcheck says violence is the supreme authority, it must be. And when things like your mother's stance that violence never solved anything are immediately shot down by counter-arguments like Hiroshima solved everything, the things parents, God love them, try to instill in us get written off the same exact way remainders were the second we learned the truth. But hey, what better way to celebrate high school ending and new beginnings than you and your buds signing your lives away to the military? I mean, you want to be cool, don't you? Everybody's doing it. Your psychic best friend Carl joins military intelligence, your partner Carmen wants to be a fleet pilot, and you? To say choices are limited would be too kind a way to phrase it. You try your damnedest to harness psychic abilities, cause military intelligence is by far the most cushiony option, but you have less than zero untapped medium potential.
Statistically speaking, you should have accidentally guessed right by now.
You'd go the fleet route with Carmen, duh, but the first thing they look at is your math scores, and yeah, you sure torched that bridge. Mobile infantry is your only option. If anyone knows how absurd joining the mobile infantry is, it's your well-off father. Son, what the F is this effing mobile unaliventry brochure I'm holding that effing came for you in the fucking mail today? It's not hard to understand your father's rage, and your mother's fear. It makes sense Carl wants to enlist and go the military intelligence route, considering it's an elite, prestigious position outside of any danger zone, and would also be the most fitting career choice for his very rare psychic gift.
Hold on, I want to talk to Marco. His sister's at Fleet.
And Carmen is clearly incredibly passionate about the Fleet Academy and chasing her dream of one day becoming a pilot. But what is your deal? You don't have any special lucrative gifts, no service-driven passions, no real passion or drive whatsoever if we're being honest. And look at this house. Your father's proof you don't have to be a citizen to end up stupid rich. And despite your grades, he's got connections that could get you into Harvard. Reason why? The government force awakens. While the vast majority of people will fall prey to the hype propaganda they're raised on, they still have to bag that smaller minority of your type immune to propaganda, thanks to not really giving a about much.
You understand it? Do you believe it? I don't know.
They accomplish this by Jedi mind tricking you into thinking you're deciding for yourself to enlist. You're at that angsty age where you're pulled in the opposite direction of the controlling demands made by your parents.
It's my decision, not yours.
And while they're commanding you not to enlist, the other side of that coin sways you towards the proverbial dark side by not insisting you do enlist. They insist you make your own decision based on what you think would be best for you.
Figuring things out for yourself is the only freedom anyone really has. Use that freedom.
That alone's enough to make you say, F you, mom and dad, I'm out of here. But your major influence goes even deeper and is so much more dumb. Reason why. You're enlisting in death-guaranteed mobile infantry for love. The thing about mobile infantry and these endless, insane wars is they're not wars amongst ourselves across this planet in different countries, they're against other, way more powerful and strategic bug species across the galaxy on different planets. Your only reason for enlisting is to avoid losing your high school sweetheart. You're not gung-ho to kill bugs or desperate to earn citizenship, you just don't want your crush to leave you behind. That's the absolute worst motivation to go to war ever, and it guarantees you'll be heading into combat with zero sense of purpose beyond puppy love. Puppy love with someone who wouldn't even be in the same branch as you. Who isn't in the same branch as you in this very moment as far as feelings are concerned. You'd do anything to have her be the one who sits on your face till death do you part, but the only thing she longs to sit on's her future pilot chair, bud. If the sea of passionate, brainwashed, fresh meat who just want to kill something don't stand a chance, a passionless moron stands no chance in hell. And when Carmen dumps your loser ass in a text 10 galaxies south of where your loser ass is for your rival jock nemesis, who happens to be in the very place she ends up, enjoy combating the impossible on the front line whilst also combating heartbreak. The worst thing about all this is that your heartache, sulky pity party will also put everyone around you at risk as well. More on that when we get there, though. You tell Carmen you're enlisting, and yeah, it impresses her enough to lay you.
My father's not home tonight.
Rock and roll. I hope that 2 minutes on top makes your gruesome fall 6 feet under worth it. The recruitment officer shakes your hand and proudly declares, "Mobile infantry made me the man I am today." This, well, concerns you some, considering he's down one arm and both legs. You think about Rawcheck too, and his missing limb, and you're blind from combat bug fetish science teacher. It's like it's suddenly hitting you the reality of the situations you're voluntarily signing up to put yourself in. Carmen makes y'all promise, no matter what, the three of you will always be friends. Carl agrees, despite the incredibly high likelihood you guys will never bump into each other again. I guess his psychic abilities have yet to tap into seeing into the future. As the time comes for you to start this new and final chapter in your life, your dad cuts you off and ices you out, and your mother is impressively onto you.
I hope you don't ruin your life over some silly little girl who wants to look handsome in a uniform.
Shut up, Mom! I love her!
When all that you need is a sign you're doing the right thing here,
You're instead given a sign that suggests the polar opposite.
as you say goodbye to Carmen, you drop the L-bomb on her for the very first time. And she, oh neat, she can't say it back, and only barely finally does in a whisper after you guilt it out of her.
Give me a sign if you don't want me to do it. Any sign at all.
Are you too much of a little bitch to enlist?
What a bitch!
Are you super ashamed about that? Like you should be? Thanks to the federal network, that obvious shortcoming can be a thing of the past, courtesy of Now That's What I Call Propaganda Hypnosis Volume 1. The only CD on the market with 151 tracks, all of which are the exact same banger. Now shipping with an undisclosed amount of Ambien and, now that's what we used to call a Walkman, for free. Simply take more of the Ambien than you know you should and fall asleep with your headphones on. Now That's What I Call Propaganda Hypnosis will do the rest.
Invade, slay, kill, come on you ape. You just want to, cause you have to. The only good bug is a dead bug squashed. You wanna fight in the war, you wanna fight in the war, you wanna fight in the war, you're up for squashing some more, you're up for squashing some more, you're up for squashing some more bugs with me. Invade, slay, kill, come on you ape. You just want to, cause you have to. The only good bug is a dead bug squashed. You wanna fight in the war, you're up for squashing some more, you're up for squashing some more bugs with me.
You'll wake up a brand new you. Thank God. Must be 18 or older to purchase. If you're not 18, the employee will look the other way. Just do not tell your mom and dad.
Basic training's not supposed to be a walk in the park. It's meant to prepare you physically and mentally for what may come after. So try to imagine what it would be like in a future where the what may come after's amplified to the 100th degree. If you guessed Cadet Kelly, close, but not quite. Your senior drill instructor Zim immediately lets you guys know most of you will not live past basic training. Dude, wait, what? The normal expectation when it comes to what one can expect for f***ing up is a lot of verbal humiliation followed by a shitload of push-ups. But in Starship Troopers,
When Ace screws up by questioning Zim's reasons they need knife training when they've got nukes they can launch at the push of a button,
The enemy cannot push a button if you disable his hand.
minutes into meeting this man, Zim demands a volunteer come up and try to kick his ass. When Breckenridge steps up and obliges said demand, Zim breaks his arm. And as Breckenridge screams in pain, Zim tells him not to stress about it because pain is an illusion created by one's mind. Oh crap, hold on, gang. Danger! Stalker! Stalker! Seems Dizzy, who enlisted and was stationed elsewhere, specifically requested to be transferred here, where you are. Totally not 'cause of you, of course. That part's a coincidence. Would you like to know more? Diz, as you would fondly call her, attended your same school, same classes, same sport. Was it love? Was it obsession? Is there a difference? The night of the dance, same night you lost it to Carmen, you dog you, Diz boldly directly asked you why you two never got jiggy with it. But how do you respectfully tell someone that while on paper you'd clearly make for a great match, that's only because she's studied you and your interests, as if compatibility is a test full of questions you can get right or wrong?
Can't we just be friends, Diz?
That works. Her being there somewhere everywhere you'd go was as strange as it was completely obvious. More obvious than the poor girl probably realized. Her showing up here now breaches your breaking point. She tries to eat lunch with you, but nah, you're not having it.
I can't sit here.
She gaslights you for calling her out on coming there to be closer to you, then makes it her life's mission to upstage you at every opportunity she gets until you cave and agree to be her pal again. While all of this is happening, you're also dealing with the fact that you've sent Carmen quite a plethora of video messages and haven't received jack in return. To be fair, Fleet's no joke. She's been very busy recklessly succeeding and getting to know your rival Jock better, who, like Diz, requested to be transferred where Carmen is. Who could have guessed Starship Troopers would be so romantic? Would you like to know more? In the very ambitious bid to impress Carmen, you put your all into becoming squad leader. Like if that won't permanently turn her on, what will? After an intense battle on Laser Tag Monday that you conquered thanks in large part to Diz, you finally achieved that goal. And just when you thought things couldn't get any better, you finally receive a video message back. Is this a good news day or what? I mean, wow. Every last one of your less qualified homies acts shocked you scored a person like Carmen, but come on, you're squad leader. A cut above the rest. Nothing can make you crumble. Johnny, like, this universe is too effing huge. We're hella far apart, and like, I so think we should see other people. You should totally still message me though, cause you're obvi still my BFF.
I could be at Harvard right now. What the hell am I doing?
Talk about poorly planned heartache distraction timing. Getting dumped occurs right as you guys have reached the point where your squad will be firing live, actual rounds in a simulated combat environment. Which, sidebar, why? I can't think of a single reason using live ammunition when laser tag style in the future is technologically advanced enough to safely replicate that perfectly. In any case, you are not the same person whatsoever who was appointed squad leader. Your heart's not in anything, cause your heart is dead, and your mind is far the elsewhere. So much so that when poor Breckenridge is having issues with his helmet, you remove it without thinking and... Oof. Leave a like and subscribe if you hate it when that happens. The aftermath here sees Walter White's brother-in-law ripping you a brand new asshole. On a positive note, a representative from Guinness World Records arrives to award you the world record for quickest fall from grace on account of just how fast you went from squad leader to squad failure. Under normal circumstances, you'd likely be sent home in the best case scenario. That or placed under arrest until you're eventually pardoned. Not here though. Instead of that nonsense, you're sentenced to 10 brutal lashings.
I could be at Harvard right now. What the hell am I doing?
As fun as that bull was, you're absolutely done with this stupidity phase in life and are all set to go home. Diz is not happy about this decision. She really found herself here and does not want this experience to end whatsoever. But she is a mirror to your life decisions, so if you go, she'd have no choice but to wait a week, follow suit, and, you know, bump into you at a coffee shop near the local mall. You could give a shit what Diz or anyone else thinks, except for your parents, who are both so down to welcome you back with open arms. But as you go to make your exit, fate has other plans.
War! We're going to war!
Reason why? There's no home to go home to anymore. Starship Troopers is one of those why you wouldn't survive films that'll bag you no matter what. If you embrace the rules of this series fully and enlist, you're dead. If you refuse on account of you'd never sign up for war, you'd die too because you'd stay behind in Buenos Aires, which in this very moment is no Buenos Aires up in flames. Would you like to know more? Seems our planet was struck by an asteroid, a catastrophic disaster the Federation immediately exploits. They blame the arachnids, claiming the species deliberately targeted Earth, giving them the excuse they need to increase enlistment and go to war.
The only good bug is a dead bug.
This pivotal moment has been the source of ongoing debate amongst fans ever since the movie first came out. Was it the arachnids? Was it a false flag operation? Mostly, it was Carmen. Seeing Carmen in Fleet, it's obvious from the jump she's a natural, but she's also very cocky. In a bid to impress, she takes it upon herself to recalculate and replot the ship's standard flight course and ends up directly in front of a rogue asteroid. Movie magic sees her ship narrowly escape would-be death, but not without consequence as the top of the ship collides with that asteroid, shifting the direction it's traveling. My belief is this is the asteroid that strikes Earth. Now, if the highly scientifically accurate Michael Bay film Armageddon taught us anything, it's that animal crackers make for fantastic foreplay. Also, we have the capability to detect an asteroid on a collision course with Earth before it arrives. Instead of throwing BBB-accredited oil drillers with an A+ rating into space, the Federation turns its proverbial head and whistle walks away. The smoking gun fact of the matter here, though, is archival Fed network footage doesn't just prove we have the ability to see asteroids coming, but most importantly, we have an effortless weapons system in place capable of handling them before impact can occur. As I was doing further research on this topic, I came across an awesome video from the YouTube channel Heavy Spoilers. Paul does a phenomenal job breaking down the improbability of the arachnids deliberately pulling off such an attack.
Now, I'm not somewhat of a scientist myself, but these are clearly billions or even trillions of light years away. The planets in the solar system, they're constantly moving and spinning through space. Where we are now, that won't even be where we are in half a second's time. In order to pull this off, you'd not only have to know where you were in space, but then also know where the Earth was. You'd then have to work out where it would be in a trillion light years time, and also what exact angle to hit the meteor at.
Genuinely assuming the arachnids deliberately FedExed that asteroid to Earth as an act of war would mean asserting they are highly advanced intellectual creatures. Yet the Federation publicly mocks the notion these things are anything more than stupid bugs.
Frankly, I find the idea of a bug that thinks offensive.
The world's too blinded by rage to notice such a discrepancy, though. You're too blinded by rage, and with nothing to go back to, you ditch your desire to unenlist in favor of the complete opposite need: kill, kill, kill. Everybody is celebrating winning this war before it even starts. The arrogance is so palpable, a news journalist and his cameraman are coming along for the ride to capture our guaranteed ass-kicking. A happenstance reunion with Carmen doubles as a reunion with your rival jock nemesis. You take it very well.
What's he gonna do?
Reason why? You gravely underestimate your opponent. You assume these bugs are dumb and write off anyone's suggestion they're not. You assume these bugs aren't going to see the attack you're about to unleash on them coming. And maybe they don't, but regardless, they are very prepared. So much so that despite your effort to catch them off guard, it's them who strike you first. And just like that, you are the unprepared ones. It's not just their preparedness that wrecks you, though. These bugs are bigger than us, faster, stronger. They're everywhere. No one's safe. Not the silly journalist, not the soldiers on the ground, nor the pilots hovered above. Most importantly, not you. Ace, who was appointed squad leader after your major botch, has a total choke artist mental breakdown, so y'all don't even have someone in a position to take charge. While retreating, your number comes up. You know it. The bug that's about to tear your ass up like you two just got married knows it. It's as game over as it gets. Your first encounter with the suck says everything that needs to be said as to just how impossible this film is to survive. In just 60 minutes, roughly 100,000 soldiers are ripped apart and killed. That's 1,667 per minute. And wrap your head around this. In total, 308,563 soldiers were made dead as Zed. Well, make that 562 soldiers, cause Tinseltown magic to the rescue. Remarkably, you just so happen to be the only one they rescued and inserted into a Dragon Ball Z rejuvenation chamber. Magically surviving's going to teach you what a fluke that first massacre was not. It's only gonna get worse. Because everybody basically died, you, Dizzy, and Ace are reassigned to the Roughnecks, led by none other than Mr. Rochek. I'll tell you what, too, gang. If you didn't already know, Rochek is a stone-cold badass.
Carry on.
Per directives given by the brand new Sky Marshal, the new game plan for wiping these bugs out that wiped out your entire squad is to wipe them out. One planet at a time. So welcome to Tango Urilla, where Urilla in for a Rilla bad time. Gotta say, man, this game plan doesn't seem very fresh and new. Looks like they accidentally went the literal route with the phrase night and day difference. Leave a like and subscribe if you hate it when that happens. If there's one major difference this time around, it's that your objective sees you guys more as exterminators this time, finding and destroying various bug hordes in an effort to mop up infestation. We quickly learn these Roughnecks don't mess around, but we also learn these worker bugs aren't the only bugs we have to contend against. You level up in stupidity when you see this tanker bug and immediately decide, I think I'll bull ride it. As fun as this sequence is, it's basically watching the expectations POV whilst totally neglecting reality's lens. But hey, taking this big guy out lands you corporal. For now at least.
Until you're dead, or till I find somebody better.
Come nightfall, a celebration ensues, because hey, you guys managed to go a day without an entire squad extinction. It's during this party, however, you make an even more potentially reckless decision than bull riding a tanker. You sleep with your stalker. Another day, another planet. Planet P, baby! Guess we learned fuck all from why you wouldn't survive the Alien franchise, cause today we're investigating a distress signal emanating from Whiskey Outpost. And, things are quiet. Too quiet. Aw, maybe it's nothing. Uh-oh! Guys, Sergeant Gillespie was taken by a hopper bug! This is where we come together and help our brother out. Well, okay. His life loss is your gain, cause you're Sergeant now. You think that's good, but none of this is good. Everything's fleeting, and the only certainty is untimely, brutal death. Case in point, Whiskey Outpost. The place looks like the aftermath of a nightclub John Wick visited. Just bodies everywhere. Seems a bug we've yet to see popped the top of their head like a lid and drank their brain with a straw. Probably a good time to roll on out of here, no? Cue sole survivor General Owen, who seems to agree with me on that. We learn a lot of scary stuff from General Cuckoo Crazy that point to these bugs not being as dumb as humans try to convince themselves they are. The bug that drank that soldier's brain has the ability to get inside our minds, exploiting human weaknesses to better see to it we fall to them. Wait. Is he talking about a bug still, or the Federation? That distress call, by the way, a trap. The bug controlled the soldier's mind and forced him to send it, to lure you right where they want you. Owen does a quick YouTube search, and upon realizing there's not a How to Beat Starship Troopers video, he comes to a daunting, accurate conclusion.
We're gonna die!
What a bitch!
With good reason, I suppose. Our biggest reason thus far, in fact. I mean, just really take a look at what's coming your way. I don't care how staunch you are in your will to survive, this incoming wave of bugs commands you to give up hope. And unlike that first battle, there's nowhere to retreat to. You're fully dependent on rescue swooping in, and they are in no hurry whatsoever to be your hero here. It's a greatest hits of hits, too. Worker bugs, hoppers, see ya, Owen. Tanker bugs, too. When the cavalry finally does arrive, your hero pilot, of course, is your rival jock nemesis. But before you guys can get off this death rock, I want to say the unthinkable happens, but let's be real, it's totally thinkable all things considered. Roughnecks checks out. And as hard as it might be to put the man you respect and admire most out of his misery, you don't have much time at all to simply grieve him, cause right after disposing of that tanker, Diz is mortally wounded as well. There's a pattern at play here. From your parents, to your teacher, to Diz, each loss is tied to war, and the pain these losses bring make the urge to fight more powerful. At this stage, you're unrecognizably different, past the point of no return, confined to this infantry loop that only stops when you die. Roughnecks was a perfect example of what I'm talking about here. There was a time when he was young like you, suckered into the addiction of war. Years and years and years later, he's a history teacher, sure, but each year come summer break, he's putting on a bionic arm and leading squads into battles they're certainly not likely to win. His active service only ends because he does. You're not the only one who's totally different now, don't worry. Back on the Death Star, we're reintroduced to Carl, who's now rocking a mean resting glare face and Nazi-esque attire. Carl casually admits you and the Roughnecks basically got Weyland-Yutani'd. They sent you to Planet P to see about a distress call, mostly convinced that, like Owen pointed out, it was a trap. You, Diz, Rawchek, everyone were completely expendable in an effort to draw out this mysterious brain bug.
You don't approve. Well, too bad.
Say, would you like to know more? Best friend Carl then says you guys are going to go back to that planet because they still need to capture the brain bug regardless of how many live or die. Our little pattern continues because draped over this utter bullshit is you once again moving up a rank to lieutenant, until of course...
I get killed or you find someone better.
Good little sheep. 3 bug battles in, and you've already reached grizzled vet mentality as you stare down the wave of fresh recruits not yet fully reprogrammed like they're, for the time being, worthless maggots. While you guys scramble around on the ground, the bugs also take the fight to the air, where things do not look very promising for Carmen and the other fleet fools hovered above you. As death becomes more imminent by the second, she and rival jock Nemesis opt to evacuate, which seems like the smart decision at first, but death by quick explosion will seem like crumb cake in comparison to the mess of a situation they crash land into. Oh, thank God, a pocket knife. In real life, they'd die right here and now, without question, but instead they're maimed for the big reveal of our epically gross brain bug baddie. In what is way too nightmare fuel to ever be allowed to show on YouTube, we see, at the expense of rival jock Nemesis, the gruesome straw brain sucking process. But you can let your imagination do its thing off Carmen's reaction to seeing this, cause it says all that needs to be said. Once rival jock Nemesis is fully drained, it's Carmen's turn, but right before Xander is sucked dry, he slipped her the blade, a move that ultimately in this moment saves her life. Reason why, though? Sucking brains allows these brain bugs to directly absorb the memories, knowledge, and strategic plans of said human Margarita. So sucking rival jock Nemesis's brain would allow it to know there's a sharp item in Carmen's possession, thus allowing it to not so fast her before she's able to strike. I know, the truth hurts. While all this has been going on, you and the few, the proud, the naive are playing a rousing game of where on earth is Carmen in this cave though. Too bad, so sad, reason why. Beating said game means walking into game over. As cool as that future tech portable nuke might be that you're holding, given how intellectual these bugs have proven themselves to be, they'd hardly be intimidated at all in this moment, because you utilizing said weapon would mean killing all of you as well. While Brain Boss retreats, an army of worker bugs charge forward at the f***ing 4 of you. Every time I watch this movie, there are several moments that would instantly make me want to make a why you wouldn't survive video on it. And this is without question one of those moments. Amidst this epically impossible showdown, Watkins is crippled to the ground, expendable for the plot for the age-old movie conflict solution that sees him stay behind with the nuke device so he can Miles Dyson the problem at hand to smithereens. As you, Carmen, and Ace make your miraculous exit, a celebration is going on, because Zim, of all people, managed to bag you guys a brain bug. The fact that Zim is here, fighting to begin with, further points to the combat addiction one's overtaken by after serving, because he was told the only way he'd be able to fight is if he demoted his ranking down to that of a private, stripping him of his current title and all the benefits that come with it.
Yes, sir, I get you.
So you've got a brain bug in custody, and thanks to Carl's psychic abilities, you learn it's scared. What does this really mean though? Because capturing it allows our scientists to study how they think, communicate, and exert psychic control. But is that any different than what they've gathered from capturing us and sucking our brains out to learn how we think, communicate, and strategize? Because if you were to ask me, that's even Steven, except we're edged out, because there's more of them and they are bigger than us and stronger, and to fight them directly means they will always have home field advantage. Would you, for the last time, like to know more? The Federal Network will continue to do what it does best. Take one irrelevant win, inflate it into a historic turning point, and plaster it across every screen on Earth as proof that the war has finally shifted in our favor. Momentum cannot be lost. Sacrifice cannot stop. Doing your part has never mattered more. And you'll enlist, be it for the glory or propaganda you've been raised to buy into, or the benefits, or cool points, or the co-ed shower enticement. But before long, you'll forget about the citizenship perks you enlisted to earn, or the love-struck blindness that brought you to the front line. And at first, ranking up will feel exciting, until promotions are no longer promotions, rather what makes sense for that particular moment, that particular fight. And at first, you'll want to live. You'll fear death even, until living will only mean you still have more fight left to give. Another planet, another charge, another body for a war that will always come with a hidden agenda and always demand more sacrifice, until survival itself becomes something you mock with an alarming rhetorical question that says everything about what you've become.
You wanna live forever?
And that, my friends, is why you wouldn't survive Starship Troopers. Thanks so much for watching, and 1,000 apologies for the break I was forced to take while dealing with a bunch of health issues. If you enjoyed today's video, please consider subscribing and turning your post notifications on, as it really does help me continue doing what I love. Until next time, hasta la vista, baby.